What's going on, everybody? It's your boy DQ here from The Gift is Free, man. Back with another episode of the Gift is Free podcast. Definitely excited about this guest we have today. Uh, One of the best football players from a mythical standpoint of hearing about that I've ever heard of in the county. A lot of people that you talk to about this guy when he was out on the football field, they were compared to somewhat of an Adrian Peterson and some of the freakish backs of that nature. So I was excited to kind of hear his story and his development as he got better in the sport, and also to kind of introduce and let people also know how good of a football player, how good of a basketball player he was. A lot of people know him for football, but he also played basketball, was an all-county student athlete at Severn School. So without further ado, man, Hall of Fame, just I'm talking about county renown, one of the best to ever do it out there on the field and on the court. My main man, Deon Peters. What's up, baby?
What's up, bro?
Hey, man.
You on, man?
Man, it's long overdue. We was discussing it a long time ago when we did KP's interview first, so we should have got it done. But the timing is everything. It's good now.
Sure, better late than never, baby.
For sure, man. How you doing, man? How you feeling? Everything all right?
I'm good, man. Enjoying life, living life, man. I can't complain, bro.
Word, man. With this COVID stuff going on, man. How did you kind of adjust to COVID when it first hitting up to now?
Man, it's been crazy. I've been low key, bro.
Yes, sir.
Low key.
Mm-hmm.
With the sports, with Lil, man, I was trying to get. He was out there doing the whole practices and whatnot, but then I had set him back a little bit because it got crazy. But this year he back out, man. I let him sit for a little bit, but he back out there. Things starting to unwind a little bit. Everybody adjusting and whatnot. So I'm happy to get him out there. I'm happy to be back out there myself.
Right. I was gonna say, you having a son. Speaking on your son and him playing football, how good does that feel to get out there and introduce him to the game and nurture him in the sport that you once loved, or probably still love, I should say?
It's got its good and its bad, because sometimes I gotta realize, he only 5 years old. 5. He went out. I think he did the I-9 when he was 2. Oh, bro. He got me one time. I had to yank him out, take him home, man. But I'm like, man, on a ride home, like, dang, he only 2. I gotta chill a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I rushed it a little bit. You know what I mean? Now I'm starting to sit back. I passed him on the Kerwin and them, man. He in good hands. I wanted to coach, but I said he the type to do better with me just watching on the outside. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. So he in good hands over at Brooklyn Park, though, man.
Yes, I got a chance to see him out there when he first came out there for Brooklyn Park. Also had a youngin that was on an older team, so it's kind of crazy to see all my friends and their kids coming down and playing the sports that they played, man, with you and with Fleet and KP going to be soon, and with Gus, his son, playing football. And
man, it's crazy, bro.
It's crazy,
man.
For sure. And I know you kind of spoke on that before, but do you think it's like more so of a tougher side, or is more of a satisfaction? Do you think it's tougher because you were so in depth into the sport and you might try to rush it too fast, and that's why you had that realization? Or do you think you get more satisfaction out of seeing them? Which one do you think overwhelms the other?
It's tough, yo. It's tough. It's tough, bro. Because everybody like, man, he got some roles, he got some shoes to fill, and I'm like, I'm trying not to think of it that way. You know what I mean? Because I want him to. He set his own path for real. You know, I want to put him in. If he like it, he like it. If not, you know what I mean? So be it. But seeing him out there, yo, it's tough. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna always be satisfied on whatever he do.
Right.
I mean, that's
right.
What it down to.
And that's respect, man. That's respect. So we kind of on the kids conversation. I always like to give people a little bit of the background of the guests that I have on. So kind of tell the people where you grew up and where you kind of were raised and what you were doing as a child.
Born and raised, Naples, Maryland. Naples Gardens I grew up in. I was there for probably till I was probably like 4 or 5, then we left, that's where it really all started for real, man. Out there, I had a babysitter that was watching me once I moved up the road. I had a babysitter down there. My mom worked down there, so I was just always in Annapolis, man. That's where all the football started and basketball. After school, playing with the fellas in the neighborhood courts, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Before school, we in the streets playing, throw up tag in the middle of the street before the school buses come, bro. So that's where it all started, man. I didn't start playing football until I was probably about, I think I was like 7. Played for the Annapolis All Stars. That was an organization for like, I think they ran for like 2 years, and
You played for the Annapolis All Stars?
that's where I first suited up and
Yo,
played.
that's wild, yo. Like my brother and them, that's who they played for coming up. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know that hit had lasted that long and made it to. And it might have been another organization, but the Annapolis. What colors was y'all?
Purple and yellow, son.
Yeah, yo, I got pictures of them right there in front of me with the All Stars uniforms on, man.
That's where I first started, bro.
That's wild, bro. So you were playing a little mixture of everything, or was it just football off the break for you?
It was just football. Like I'll get into it later on, but I ain't start hooping until I was like 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
Not 11 or 12.
Right.
You know, so it was straight football. Shelby Fisher, you know, I was cool with him. His mom and my mom worked together, you know. So she was like, you need to bring him up to passing in charges, you know. And then after that, went up there, balling up there for a little bit. And then that's where it all kicked off at, bro.
Yeah.
Thing about it, though, I was playing tight end at All Stars, man. I was doing end rounds and all that. I wasn't even in the backfield, which was crazy.
Yeah, that's different.
You know?
So you playing with All Stars. What age was that, you say?
This was like, I think it was like 7 or 8.
7, 8. This is when you first started playing organized with the All Stars, 7, 8.
Yep.
So you got any brothers and sisters?
I got an older brother. I got 2 younger brothers. I don't know if you know Dontre Peters. He went to Old Mill for a little bit, then went to St. Mary's, and then went to New Hampshire. My younger brother, Kai, he went to Several School as well, you know. So, but yeah, he was more a soccer player for real, you know.
Your younger brother?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But the reason why I asked that, I mean, a lot of times when I ask the next question, which is who were your inspirations, I always know if you had brothers and sisters, because some people's inspiration is watching their older brother or them having a little brother and being their inspiration. So you always try to stay on top. So what were some of your early inspirations in sports or even in life period to be driven to do things?
Man, life period, bro. My mom, bro, she was a single parent. You know what I mean? I just seen how hard she worked at everything, and she would just instill that in me for real, you know.
Yeah.
So everything I did, I just try to go at it, you know, 100%. You know, my whole set was like, you know, everybody growing up, they want to make it to the NFL, the NBA. So like, you know, I'm gonna get us right at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So
right.
She always
some way.
yeah, she instilled that work hard, you know, because at the time, you know, I was just playing the sports in the neighborhood for real. Father wasn't around, so I was just in the neighborhood playing football, playing basketball, running around, you know, doing little kid stuff. And that's how it all started, bro, for real.
Right. So, okay. So you had your mom as a major inspiration, and you get a kind of a suggestion to go up to play with the Pasadena Chargers. And at this point, man, you go from playing in the neighborhood and you go from just kind of fooling around with it. And you're about 9, 10 years old when you play with the Chargers.
Yep.
And you get up to the Chargers. Was it a hard transition, or how was that transition coming from Annapolis and going to Pasadena and playing with those kids?
Believe it or not, it was an easy transition for real.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was, you know, you come from your neighborhood. They predominantly, you in the hood for real.
Yeah.
I came up to the Chargers. It was a little mixture.
Mixture of everything.
It was a mixture of everything for real. So at first, you know, you got your little jitters and whatnot, you know what I mean? But once it got rolled, I was up there. I was on 90B. So Kerwin father was coaching me.
Okay.
Coaching me up there at 90B. You know, so told him I was playing tight end. You know what I mean? You know, you do some stuff and then they like, okay, he a little fast for real.
Right.
Backfield from there on out, bro. They had me in the backfield, man. It was crazy because Kerwin, that's when I met Kerwin. We would always scrimmage the 78-pound. Kerwin, I don't think Reed was on that team. but we would scrimmage them and whatnot. And then the coach was like, man, trying to pull me down because I was supposed to be with the 75A for real.
Right.
Always a little heavier. You know what I mean? So they would try and get me down. Kirk wasn't trying to let me go for real, yo. You know, but till this day, I tell him, bro, if I'd have went down to 70-pound A, man, we'd have about 4 or 5 patches right now.
That's crazy.
Easily.
That's crazy. So you get up there, it's an easy transition. Who were kind of like you? I know you spoke about Kerwin, but who were kind of like? Did you remember like gaining any friendships during that time when you moved up there? Because obviously it's a different crowd, like you said. But who were some of the guys that you kind of established relationships when you first got up there?
Shelby mainly because we lived in the same neighborhood, so I knew him first. You know what I mean? So Shelby, I coming around meet Kerwin. I ended up meeting Reed on my team. It was dude Matt Taby. He went to Old Mill. Gary Link, he was over at Chesapeake.
Mm-hmm.
A few other ones, man, but yeah, it was a few other ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once I got adjusted to everybody, man, it was fun, dog.
It was fun, and I bring that point up because in our county specifically, when you play sports, it kind of looms the connections that you have throughout the county, probably for like the rest of the time that you live there. Like everybody that plays a sport. Or played a sport even at a certain level, or even if it wasn't at a high level, you kind of establish connections throughout the county and even in the city and other places through sports. So to be able to go from Annapolis and then come up to Pasadena, it's a difference. You get more and more connections. So I always wanted to know which people that you connected with early when you first got up there. When was it that you noticed that you were? Because I know you kind of said it was an easy transition, but that was with your team. When did you start playing, and when did you notice that there was a difference between you and the competition? Was it immediate, or did it take a little time period in the beginning to kind of adjust to it?
Man, I think 90B, I was still filling it out all the way through because it was the B team, so we wasn't playing. It was a B team, so it wasn't playing A team. They had 90A too.
Mm-hmm.
We was playing, it was playing the B, so it wasn't, I'm still feeling everything out. So I think when I went to 90A, me and Kate went up to 90A. We could have played 75A again, but we went up. So we was playing up with the older crew. So we was gonna play against like Dre Dotson over at Severn. We was playing with the older crew.
Right.
And you know, when I seen it starting to be a little easy to maneuver with the older crew, then that's when I know. I said, man, some team's gonna be in for a long year, dog.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. And you know what? It's so wild because like a lot of people would take them time, but for you it just seemed like it was just natural from the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So where you're playing, you said you're playing 90. That was 90B.
90B. You know,
okay.
And I went up the next year at 90A.
Mm-hmm.
Started
to tear it up. Yeah.
You know, when you can do it against an older age group that's not your age group, that's when you know, like, okay, you know, it come easy, you know what I mean?
Right. So at this point, is it, I mean, did you have, obviously, you know, as the kid that you are, what kind of, like, how did you figure out how to play this game? What did you do to get yourself ready for these games? Like, I mean, I know it's, like I said, it seems like it was natural, but how did you get yourself to this point where as though you was already ready to go? Like,
man,
what's going on, man?
In NFL, Madden, you know.
Yeah. So you were an imagination kid. You kind of used your imagination to kind of get you to the. Okay, I got you.
4 games, I would always vision what I'm doing or how I would do stuff beforehand. That's the type of person I was growing up.
Right.
I like to visualize if something happened, what I'm gonna do in this situation. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, so that's the type of player I was. I like to vision what's gonna happen before it really happens for real.
Man.
Oh.
So some of the stories that I hear from around that time, man, is just kind of crazy. It's just like I said, it's damn near mythical. Like when people talk about Bo Jackson jumping over rivers and streams and dunking rocks and shit. So man, when you was around that age, man, what games? Because I don't want to go. I mean, because right now you're probably in the beginning of middle school, like early sixth grade, and I don't want to get to like the back half yet. I want to stay from like sixth grade and down. Because seventh grade you kind of really come into your own as a teen. This is when you really are in your last year and you start to pick high school. So from sixth grade down, what was like? Do you remember like any crazy games you might have had, or somebody that you might have? And all right, as a matter of fact, I don't want to say that question yet. Let me get the crazy game first that you had that you remember.
I think this was, man. I gotta think, bro. It was a few of them, bro.
I need that one that even you were, you know what I mean? That you was kind of amazed by.
One I was the most crazy one to me was when we was playing Severn. We was playing them on our field. I think they had the ball. Inside the 5. We shut them down, inside the 5, 4 straight downs. You know what I mean? So we get the ball. They on the 1. We get the ball on the 1 yard line. They got the line stacked. Everybody blitzing. And we ran a 42 counter. 3 going to the left. I'm coming back to the right. Everybody blitzing, bro. It was one seam. Then it's just, hey, Earl Riley, you my boy. He was playing safety. It was just me and him, bro. I made a cut and was gone. 99 yards, bro.
Come on, man. And man, you're not even, come on, man. 99-yard touchdown. You skated on people like that?
99, bro. That was, 99, bro. I had 2 of those, but we're gonna get to that. Then we'll get to the next one. That's a little late. But that was my first 99-yard run for real.
That's ridiculous, man. I ain't never did nothing like that. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, man. Like I said, I've heard some crazy stories about Peters, man. It might have been when he's a little older. We're gonna get to it in a second when he kind of developed into the full beast that everybody knew about. But I just kind of wanted to see how you felt about sixth grade and down, because from now on it's kind of business time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So seventh grade comes, and do you remember what pound you were playing in seventh grade?
Seventh grade.
That's 105 or no? Yeah, that's 105.
Yeah, that's 105. So see, I played 2 years of 105.
Okay.
First year on 90A, me and KP played up.
Yeah, you went up.
And now everybody's moving up. I was supposed to stay down. That was my regular age group we were supposed to play 90A again. So that's when I meet Mike Newton and Jamal comes over. I think Jamal was at Brooklyn Park. And that's when I meet Mike Newton, But me and him was heavy. You know what I mean? We was running before practice, trying to get the weight down.
Trash bags.
Right. On the field before. So me and him talking like, man, we want to keep doing this, we want to keep eating and move up.
Yeah, exactly.
So we was like, all right, let's just move up and play 105. Man, they was hot. How they both of us like, I'm trying to lose the weight, man. We was stacked down here. I said, bro, coming out here in that heat, running that trash bag, man, you can't eat what you want to eat. We like, bro, I don't know if we could do this, man. We like, 10, 11. We like, man, we can't keep doing this, man.
Yeah, you're like 10, 11 years old, man.
We like, all right, we're going to move up. So me and him moves up to 105 with Coach Jeff, Johnny Mack, and I think the other coach was Coach Brian. So we move up with them, so they a little beefy, a little bigger than what we was down there, so they like, they moving up. So they trying to throw us in the ring early. So they had one of the hard-hitting dudes, Mike. They like, Deon, you line up with him. As soon as we come up, they put me and Mike Newton down. Me first. You line up with him. We doing Oklahoma. He probably got me by 15, 20 pounds. Mm-hmm. They thought he was going, man, I scooped him. Bro, everything stopped. They like, going crazy. Then I'm like, okay, all right, we can do this, man. We can do this. So the first year, 105s was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
Man, that's a wild story right there. And just to get that kind of introduction, I know that's what he did because Coach Jeff is famous for doing stuff like that.
Steph was lit all the time, bro.
All the time. All the time.
And you know what I mean? Like I tell people, like when I was coaching, I tell kids to this day, man, you need that type of coach with that energy, bro. Because if you don't have that type of coach, you gonna play down to that standard. I like a coach that's, you know what I mean, gonna be hyped, you know what I mean, going for real. And that's the type of energy you need. And he had that in practice. Just a simple conversation with you, he was gonna be hyped.
Yes, all the time. So that's kind of a that's good. That's a good close on that era. And now you get to this point where, man, I've heard about this team and what you guys were doing. You're playing on one of the best teams the Chargers have ever had. I want you to kind of describe. I mean, because I think you played on multiple teams that was undefeated, right?
Now the first year, 105, we was with the older crew. So we ended up. It was crazy because we went to the championship as a 4th seed team. So we played the Bucks, who punished us on homecoming. Severn, we played the first game over there under the lights Friday night. Man, they manhandled us 36-6. You know, so we like, man, it's gonna be a tough year, bro. So we make it to the playoffs. We made it to the playoffs. We were 6-4. First round of the playoffs. We got I think the first round of the playoffs we had Severn because they was 1 seed. Man, we knocked them out. We knocked the first seed out. First round of playoffs, knocked them out. So the next round, we go to play the Bucks, team that also beat us. We take care of business. We handle them, get them up out of there. So now we the 4th seed. Like, man, nobody expected us to make it to the championship as a 4th seed at 6-4. So we playing, we go to the county championship. We playing Severna Park that's with Jordan Norwood. Man, he one of the craziest athletes, dog, that I've seen with my eyes, yo. At the quarterback, man, they put it on as 28-6, you know. But man, he was nasty, yo. Then they had the Rutland twins. That Severna Park team was tough for real. So we lose to them, you know. So me and Mike like, all right, yo, we gonna get this weight off, man. We gonna stay down. We gonna finally play with that age group. And man, when we stayed down, bro, it was a wrap. Because that squad right there was stacked. And I put that squad, and I'll bet my money on us to this day, bro. Wasn't nobody touching that squad, bro. We were stacked across the board. You know what I mean? Defense, man, anytime when you got me playing defensive end at the safety, I'm on one end, Mike Newton on the other end. Come on, bro. KP, he was at the safety. Maul at the corner. Fruit, rest in peace of Fruit at the corner. Bro, we was stacked. Dylan Fogle at the linebacker. That team was tough, bro. It wasn't too many teams doing nothing with us on offense, bro. I think they scored. I think 18 points got scored on us that year.
I'm ready to say one of them years y'all held. I think y'all was either held teams scoreless, next year. Okay. So describe that situation, because you go from playing that, and that was when you double back to 105, like you said. You double back to 105, play your actual age group. So now the next year, which is 8th grade, which is 115 or 120s? Yeah, 120s. You're playing 120s. It's your final year of amateur little league football. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of sure we already know what it was.
Yeah, man. Kind of talk about that year a little bit, because I know a lot of the memorable moments came from that year.
Bro, we already know what it was, man. Like, listen, everybody was mad because we would do an onside kick to start the game, bro. And we probably got back 65% of the onside kicks to start the game off. Yo, it was that squad right there. That squad, that's a squad we could take to go to Florida and play with for real. You know what I mean? And actually put in work. That's the best. Till this day, I argue with people, bro. People talk about Pal. Oh, no, bro. That was the best team in the county history, I think, that I've been on and I've heard people talk about for real. You know what I mean? I think we ended 80% of the games was ended in the third quarter.
Because they had slaughter rule back then.
Slaughter rule ended in the third quarter, bro. Nobody scored on us. You know, I think I got the sweatshirt somewhere. It was like 400 420 or 30 points to 0, bro. That team right there, though, that team was ready for real. You know,
and that's with you, Kerwin Porter. You got you, Kerwin Porter, Mike Newton.
Cotman was on there. Dylan Fogel was on there. Who else we had, bro? That team was so loaded, bro. It was nuts, and it wasn't just like it was just the black kids killing, bro. We had white boys that was hammering people, son.
Mm-hmm.
That I would take to this day. That would lay the wood on somebody, bro. Like it was crazy. It was
right.
crazy. So then we had, in that 120 stage, we had Cave St. Clair who fit their team together. They had a little crew together with Tyrone Johnson, Myron. They had a little crew together, but they could never get past Severna Park. They was looking always to see us, but couldn't get past Severna Park, bro. Y'all got to beat Severna Park before you play us. I tell them this, bro. You can't say you the best team and you didn't beat the best team for real.
Okay.
Severna Park is who they couldn't get by, and when we got to them, it was easy pickings, man. It was easy pickings,
Oh, God. So that's that, and that Severna Park team you said had Jordan Norwood on it.
We had 120s. This was the regular. This was
Oh, okay. So you're back in your age group. So he's not in.
Right. He's gone. Yeah, so he's gone. Yeah. But they was Andrew Ferris, a couple other ballers on there, bro. They was official though. They could definitely, they was playing some ball out there. You know what I mean? But Kate was the talk of the town down the road. Oh, they can't wait to play y'all. We scrimmaged them before 120, before we started the season, we scrimmaged them. Mm-hmm. To this day, they claim they beat us in the scrimmage. You know what I mean? So we like, okay, we'll see y'all at the championship. If that's what y'all think y'all gonna do, we'll see y'all there. So we go up there, they playing Severna Park. Second round. This is a game to go to the championship. We playing them. They score, but they don't get the 2-point conversion. And the one dude, he looking at us, smiling like, we got y'all. Y'all ain't get the 2-point conversion, so they ended up losing the game. But yeah, bro, the trash talking back then was.
I can imagine. You say you was playing against Ty Johnson and them. That's trash talk enough for a whole football team.
Who was on that team, man? Tyrone was on that team. They was calling him dang, I can't even think of his name right now. They calling him Moss. I can't even think of his name right now. I'm drawing a blank. But it was nuts, bro. The competition, that age group, the competition was there though, for real.
That's my closing question for middle school before we start to advance to high school. When you think about the competition that you faced from coming from Annapolis in the early stages to making it to one of, if not the best team in amateur football history in Anne Arundel County in the Pasadena Chargers. In that time frame, I don't know if you went and traveled a lot, but if you could name just probably maybe five, six of the top players outside of yourself, obviously, because you were one of the top players. Outside of yourself, who did you think was one of the top players around that you came across?
Jordan Norwood was one. Justin Lee, he was a problem, Justin Lee was a problem. He was over at Crofton. He was older than me. He played with Jordan Norwood, that age group. You got Trey, they call him Goody from down the road, Animal, you know what I mean? Eshawn, he was a problem as well. And then my boy, Reed, they was sleeping on Reed. Reed was that.
Man, talk about that for a second, because a lot of people, I don't care. Like, people say it now, like they don't believe it when Reed even says it, but they say Reed was that on the football field, man. Let me know.
Was that, everybody running around calling Deuce. He was that for real, bro. He was that. He was carrying, man, it's a few seasons he had to carry his squad for real, bro. Then he would go to the sideline and get his asthma pump, I'll be dying, But nah, Reed was that for real, son. It wasn't in the younger age group that was messing with Reed for real. They say Benji was, but I didn't see Benji play for real. But I heard he was the truth too. But listen, I'm putting my money on Reddy, man. Reddy was that,
Yeah, he said he was out there galloping up and down that field.
Nigga,
running up and down that field, running out of breath, gotta get the asthma pump.
Hey, bro, that's my guy, He used to get right out there, my boy.
Okay. So Now that you kind of went through this phase and you've seen and been around a little bit, how did the perspective of private school come into play? Was that because of how you were playing with the Chargers, or was that something that you had already had kind of manifesting while you were going through middle school?
Well, I knew Maul, like I said, Maul was going there already. He was going to 8th grade.
Jamal Jones.
Yeah, Jamal Jones was going there 8th grade. We had Tony Warner, whose son Jason Warner, they grew up through playing Chargers, so he knew about us anyway. And he was he coached football there, and he was a middle school teacher there.
Okay.
Jamal mom, they would talk to my mom like, you should try it out and try to get him in a Southern school and whatnot. Granted, I was living in Millersville, so if I didn't go to Severn, I would have went to Old Mill for real. Because I was walking. Yeah. We gonna get
No. Because I want to tell you something crazy within that too that you don't even really, and I think we actually did know about it back then, but I lived right behind you.
I didn't know that.
Like the field that was behind the crib. I was in the other row of cribs in there.
That's crazy.
I was supposed to go to Old Mill too, bro.
I'm telling you, I would have right there would have been walking to Old Mill.
Yes, yeah.
And if I didn't go to Severn, bro, the county would have had some problems on their hands if I went to Old Mill, bro.
Yes, I totally I agree with you, but we'll get to it when we start to wrap that up and talk about that some more. But I wanted to ask you because I know you're talking about how you went there and what you did, but make sure you include if you had any other choices in mind or that process. So
right.
Let me know that.
Okay, back to that. So that's right around the age. I think we skipped out because back when I was like 10 or 11, that's when the basketball kicked off. So I was always staying at Kerwin House, and we would, I'm going to all his baseball games, basketball games. I'm chilling on the side watching and whatnot. So I think when I turned 11, we was doing the intramurals. Kirk like, man, you just need to come out there and play intramurals and whatnot. So I was on this intramural team, and then we ended up playing county for Herndale. Coach D, Jamal Jones' father, was at coach through county, him and Kirk, so that's when basketball started to kick off. Now, me playing in the neighborhood, it ain't no refs, so now I gotta adjust to it being referees. So that transition was a little rocky for real, because I was just too fast, so I would catch the ball and start running before I even put the ball on the ground. Man, I got so many traveling calls, bro. It was crazy. Probably like the first couple months, bro. I would catch it, boom, take off, and put the ball down. So that was, I had to slow down a little bit with the basketball. So that was a little tough transition. But once I got going in that, it was cool for real. We had it. Who we had? Me, Maul, Kerwin, Dimitri, Travis, Mike Newton, Alex Buckholtz. That squad was loaded for real. We had some players on there, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So that's when the basketball really kicked off, So we traveling, we going to, playing in little tournaments here and there. The Mather was another school that was interested, me and Kate, they were interested in me and Kerwin. We went up there and did it. We did a little tournament up there, did well in there, so they was trying to get me to go there, but transportation wise, I wasn't going to be able to make it all the way up there. Mom's working all the way in Annapolis. That's completely opposite way.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I had to cut that one up, But yeah, so it was the Mather, Severn, or it would have been Old Mill if I didn't go to private school for real.
Okay. That's a good choice and consideration especially at the time. I mean, to go to the Mather, that'd have been a factory. You know how they get down.
Right.
Old Mill at the time was just like, 2002 through probably about 7 or 8, it was just pumping out athlete after athlete after athlete, especially football field. It was crazy too. So that would have been wild, man. But I just had to tell you for sure. I used to live right behind you, yo.
That's
so
great.
I'd have been going to Old Mill too. I definitely know about that because it was at Mill Race.
Yep, that was on the other side. Yep, and I was I think mine was Harper's Mill. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Somewhere. Yep. So
it's nuts.
Wild time, man. So now you kind of made the decision to go to Severn School? Was this kind of like a decision you made, or your family kind of propelled you to go there, or was it a?
We sat everybody down and was making sure it was first. We had to make sure financial aid was good because school was pricey, bro. I think when the school was like $19,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so we had to make sure and see, you know, all the odds and ends and make sure everything was cool and whatnot, you know, because that's when I think that was 8th grade. So I was playing 3D. So that's when I met Darren Smith for real. You know, so I'm like, who this?
Yeah.
Boy was raw for real. You know what I mean? Boy was raw for real. And he was that same height. You know, I'm a little shorter, but he was that same height all the way through. So I'm like, bro. Yeah. So I'm like, all right. And then we that's when we because we was practicing at Severn because Tank was the AD then, so we had the gym at Severn.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he was saying that he was going there too. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I know a couple people that's going to be in Severn School with me because I knew the transition was going to be crazy because I was coming from Bates, predominantly black school, going to Severn School, which is predominantly white school.
Yes.
And so the adjustment was crazy for real, you know. But so yeah, I was cool. I was happy knowing that I was going in with him because we had played a whole season together and whatnot. You know, and he was telling me he played, you know, basketball. He was going to Severn for basketball and whatnot, you know. So I'm like, all right, I think I made a good decision for real. Because I already knew Jamal was there, you know. So I knew I was going to be around a couple good people going into, you know what I mean, going into Severn.
Yeah.
You know, so. But yeah, man. It was Smitty coming into 8th grade, 3D. He was that, yo.
Smitty talked about, he's one of the other people that talked about you on here too, as I interviewed him about his book. And he just talked about how that time, the same way you talk about him is how he talked about you. So it's like,
and I was mad at him because we played when we got in there. I'm like, bro, you need to come out for football, bro. Like
he said that though. He said that.
Yeah, like JB, you know what I mean? We went 9-0. I didn't lose my first game of football until my sophomore year in high school. So JV, we breezed through. We 9-0 every year. I'm like, bro, you need to come out, man. Get into it, come out. And the dude, Tony Warner, who I was just talking about, who played a part in me going in there too, he was that coach. He was that head coach there. Mm. So one of the games that stand out, bro, we playing Gilman. You know,
wait a minute. I'm gonna have to cut you off.
All right, go ahead, yo.
9-0 as a freshman?
Yeah, 9-0, bro. 9-0. And I'm telling you, bro, that's when the culture started shifting at Severn, man. Like, it started shifting for real. You know what I mean? I ain't tooting the horn, but athletically, it started to shift, and people were, okay, we got some talent in here for real. So yeah, 9th grade JV, Maul was the quarterback. That's my guy, yo. He been a general, yo, since we was like
since the beginning.
He been a general for real, bro. So
shout out the ball, man.
And so like I need to get this one out. We played at Gilman.
Yeah.
Playing up there. You know, they A conference, powerhouse school. We taking little old Severn up there, man. We got our line probably averaging like $140, $180. In between there, they got players that's 220 and up at the line. So we goes up there. We down a touchdown. No. We down I think we was down less than a touchdown. So if we score, we win for real. We on our own side of the 30 or 40 yard line. So we need pretty much a Hail Mary to try and get it over with to get down there and score for real. Maul in the shotgun the first time. I just flares out on a little flare. I'm like, you know, he not gonna pass to me because we trying to get downfield. Go back to the huddle. I'm like, Maul, dump it off, yo. I'm sitting right over here, yo. Nobody's watching me. Everybody's dropping back. Maul comes out. Look me off. He throws it. We don't get it. There's probably like 10 seconds left. So we need a miracle for real.
Come on, Maul. Why you look my man off, yo?
Go back to the huddle. Maul, yo, I'm right here, yo. Trust me, I'm right here. Just dump it off, bro. Get in the play, run the play. Boom, he dumps it off. Man, I took it 60 to score to win, bro. And that was one of the craziest games because we was down, you know what I mean? And it was like one of the plays, like two people was coming. I had to jump over to get, you know what I mean, to score for real. Bro, it was wild. So that was the last game. No, that wasn't the last game. St. Mary's was the last game, but that was a big game for us for real. It was crazy, y'all.
You go up to Gilman and do that as a freshman, like you said, the culture is a little different at that school. They're not really expecting to go up there and make no noise. And
we coming up there with 23, 24 players. The whole team, we were small. Yo, man, they got 60 players on the team.
For sure.
Lined up.
Ridiculous facility.
Man.
The culture of that is ridiculous. All of that. So I know.
So, yeah. Jamal was a general, bro. That's my guy. I had to shout my guy. That's my guy right there, yo.
No, I feel you, Jim. Everybody says the same thing, man, for sure. Quick break, real quick. I had a couple people send me some questions. I had KP and Reed send me some questions for you. And he said you can explain it if you want to, or you don't have to. Reed asked about you dunking on McCovey at Spalding.
Woo!
You already spoke about playing with Coach Jeff in the cast. Drew Angel said that you should have came to Old Mill. We just spoke about that. Okay, so this will be something I kind of transition into right after this question. So 9th grade, you kind of talked about it already. I mean, your transition was kind of hard from a classroom probably perspective and socially, but on the football field, athletically, it doesn't seem that you had any, you know what I mean, any type of what would I say, roadblocks as far as making the transition to high school football. So kind of talk about your approach in 9th grade and what your mindset was just coming into the sport and coming into the school in general.
The school was tough for me. Coming from Bates, it was tough.
Yeah.
Bates, we had 30 kids in the class. Coming to Severn, you got 15 at the most, maybe less than. So the school was tough. So I know for myself, if I wanted to be successful, I had to put in the extra work. So it was the going to extra help, before practices and whatnot. So I had to put in a lot of work for real, but it paid off, you know what I mean? I don't take it back or whatnot, but sports wise, it was like you said, I was telling you, bro, I was full head of steam, So we had, back then we had the CD players, anti-skips and all that.
Yeah.
So, bro, I was locked in, son. I'm telling you, I was just locked in. When we did JV basketball, it was just me and Smitty. And I know we ended up winning the championship, the MIA B championship for JV that year, But I tell people to this day, I was Jordan, he was Pippen. It was a 1-2 punch because one game on JV, bro, I think we scored a total of like 50 some points, and I think I had 30, and Smitty might have had like 20 for real. You know what I mean? It was probably 3 or 4 people total in the box score, It was nuts, bro. And I used to call him Baseline Smitty, because he would catch it at the corner, swing left, and nobody would cut the baseline off. Would just eat him up on the baseline, son. It was crazy, Crazy.
I'm telling you, it's wild for me to conceive because I didn't wind up meeting you until I'm talking about maybe 6 years after that, and then just hearing the stories about you playing football. But to hear about you playing basketball back then, obviously I know you did when you were older, but it's like back then, it's like you was really a dual sport guy. You really enjoyed both sports.
Right. And I ain't start until basketball until 11 or 12, bro. I 11 or 12 for real. A lot of them is starting 6 or 7, you know what I mean? But yeah, bro. So we went winning the B conference with Coach Cook. Jamie Cook was my coach. Him and Gil Goodrich, Coach Gil. Them two was the coach, So we win the B conference championship. So that's when everybody, we starting the championship game. I think we played it at our court because we were the top seed. And that was the first time I seen the fans there. They loud. JV. It's 4:00 game, so it's not that many people coming to see the JV. They coming to see. They might catch the last 2 minutes into the varsity game, but a lot of them coming to see the varsity play for real.
Right.
We get into the, it's close to the end of the season playoffs. They like, all right, JV made the playoffs. The stand started getting packed. It's getting loud, and for me, any athlete that should amp you up for real. You know what I mean? So that's when like I said, that's when the culture started changing there with sports, man. Like, we was getting winning seasons, a lot of people coming out to support, and that's when, that whole camaraderie was just a big part for real.
Okay, so you come out the gate, man, and everybody that's watching this from the future, I know the question that it's been kind of a transition for everybody except for this guy right here and Sean Mosley. These two are the only two that I know that come straight in ninth grade, no transition, just come and dominate the sport. So 9-0 in the freshman year. You had that monster game against Gilman. So for football, it's in the beginning of the year, so you kind of have to have your grades right in the second quarter, but you play basketball, so it's pretty much all year round for you.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into that sophomore year, did you play JV or varsity?
I played varsity.
Played varsity coming into 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And since the 9th grade transition was kind of the easier one, what about the 10th grade when you're going straight to varsity and playing football? And this is from a football perspective because, and this with no disrespect, football to me is your sport. You know what I mean? Your primary sport at the time. And you're dominating. I don't know if you're doing it yet, but 10th grade, you start out in football. How was that transition going straight to varsity and competing for a spot or competing against varsity athletes, period?
It was nerve-wracking at first. You know what I mean? You playing, your first year on varsity. You don't want to mess up. You know what I mean? And first game of the season, we playing McDonough. They A conference school, ranked in the states and whatnot. So we like, man, we playing them first. We would always start off with 2 A conference teams. So it would be McDonough and it would be Loyola. First 2 A conference teams we would play. You know what I mean? So McDonough was my first sophomore year team that I played against.
Did you start or did you come off the bench or?
I started. It was it was crazy because I'm used to being in the backfield, the only back. So Arnold Jones, Jamal brother, he was there. He was a senior that year, so he had it locked down. That's my guy, he needed to have that lockdown.
For sure, yeah.
So they just had to fluke the offense. So I was playing the slot. Didn't know that the slot could be that dominant of a position for real, but I had to adjust to it, so we playing McDonough, and we about to they got me at punt return. I'm on this my first, I didn't play defense sophomore year. I played offense. I'm on punt return. So first time touching the ball, ran it back, punt return back for like 72 yards. So once I did that, the jitters was out then. You know what I mean? Once I got that first break loose, it was the jitters was gone and I was comfortable. You know what I mean? Then I'm like, okay, I'm playing against the A conference school. I just ran one back. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say I was feeling myself, but I'm like, okay, I know what I can do.
Yeah, for sure.
I know what I can do. So after that point, I think Jamal, that was his breakout year. I think he was airing it out that year because we had weapons for real,
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, he the general, he would call a play. And me, I'm first year playing the slot. I'm like, Mom, where I go? Every time I ask him, he would know, like, yo, you supposed to be over there, bro. He's sending me back in motion. You know what I mean? So that first year, playing the slot, he got me through there because I was like, bro, where I go on this one, yo? Yo, you go this way, you go up, out, and up, bro. I'm like, all right. But it was that sophomore year. We had a good year. We had a good year. I think we was, man, bro, that was a long time ago, boy. I think we was like 7-3. I think we were like that. But that sophomore year, that was a good year, man. That was a good year.
Okay. So sophomore year, what year is that? 03 for you or 04?
Sophomore year, that was. Damn, I'm not putting that old, man.
No, sophomore year.
That was 01.
01, I'm sorry, yo. That's my bad, yeah.
Years on me.
Right. So
yeah, that was 01.
Okay, so you get through that process. And sophomore year comes. Was Was there anybody that stood out to you as a football player at that particular time as a 10th grader? Because the next year is when you really separate yourself as a football player in general. So,
Right.
I want to know, like, during this time, did you?
Darnell, I was pretty much following behind him for real, because
Okay.
he was toting the load for real. He was the main back, you know what I mean? So I was, you know what I mean, we was in the backfield, all the plays kind of revolve around each other. So that was the guy for real. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna follow what he do, you know what I mean? When it's my time to step up, I'm gonna make sure I step up, you know what I mean? But yeah, he was the guy, because he was already up there playing. He played the year before on varsity, you know what I mean? So he was already a year in, couple years in, you know what I mean? So that's the guy I was asking questions about, you know what I mean? Asking questions, do this and do that, you know?
That's usually the case. Like, in for me in particular, my sophomore year, for me, that person was Reed.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of you get under that show, you see what they're doing, you see how they operate, how you can pick apart what they do and kind of apply it to yourself. So
Right.
that's a cool one. Shout out to Nelly too.
Yes, sir.
So like you said, you were a hard worker, man, and you felt like in order to get better, sustain, being good at things, you felt like you had to work hard. What were some of the things that you did differently going into your junior year, getting ready for football?
You want to go 10th grade basketball or no?
See, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's a pure example of what I was talking about just a second ago. Like,
look, I told you this interview will be in depth, bro.
I no, that's not even that's my fault, because like I just told you about 2-3 minutes ago, like I be forgetting that. Like I forget all the time, yo. 10th grade basketball season. You just had a phenomenal football year. So basketball season comes around 10th grade. Let's talk about that for a second.
First of all, we was mad at Maul because Jamal moved up the varsity when we wanted to play down JV freshman year, man. But he did what he needed to do, which is understandable, you know what I mean? So yeah, sophomore year goes up. We playing varsity sophomore year. It was me, Maul, Smelly, dude named Evan, and a dude named Zach. And it was crazy, bro, because I was a sophomore and I was jump balling, yo. I was playing the 5 for it. Crazy, yo. I'm jumping against dudes that's like 6'7". I'm like, bro, I'm not getting this, man.
Yo, they want to put you out there because you're just a crazy athlete. You gotta try to get that. They feel like you can do anything, man.
Yo, it was nuts, bro. I'm jump ball. I'm like, yo, I don't play the 5, man. You know what I mean? It was crazy. But we ended up making it that year. We lost to St. Paul's in the game to go to the championship to play St. Mary's. You know, St. Mary's was our rival, right? So we playing down in Annapolis against St. This first time I dunked in the game for real. So we playing down at St. Mary's. They I think they had beat us. They beat us at home. We might have went into OT. I think they beat us up there at OT. So this one had Jeff Postel. They was loaded down there. You know, they had some shooters. Marcus Perry. They was loaded for real. So we playing down there. We losing. We down maybe like 10. You know what I mean? I catch a steal. You know what I mean? First it's like, all right, lay it up and get the bucket.
Yeah.
And when you step into that little old gym, bro, it's crazy crowded.
Yes.
So it's loud. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not laying this up, man. We gotta get picked up. Go down there, yammed it one hand. Bro, yes. It was over after that. We make a run. We ended up coming back and winning that game for real, bro.
Yes, sir.
First, that sophomore dunk, that was one of the best highlights for real. You know what I mean? Because that's the first time I dunked in a game. In practice, you know what I mean? I'm doing it lethargically, just boom, you know what I mean? But in the game, that's the first time it ever happened, bro.
That adrenaline, man. That adrenaline had you going crazy.
It was blowing crazy. So I said, nah, man, I'm not going to just lay this up, man. I'll put this one down.
Damn.
But yeah, sophomore year, man, that was a good year, yo. We should have went further than we did, you know, but you know that comes with it, you know what I mean? But we had a good sophomore year for real.
So at this point, man, you well versed in both sports. Which one did you feel like you were better at this point? Because everybody had, like I said, I consider it and look at it like, man, the stories that I heard about that football field, man, there's no way possible that the basketball side could be just as good. But I gotta ask you though, because you know.
It's tough, bro. It's this one tough because when I look back on it, I didn't know that I was gonna be able to do the things that I was doing in basketball for real, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? But football is always gonna be my love. So I'm gonna go with football, bro. But basketball is literally right underneath for real.
Okay.
Right underneath. You know.
And I mean, I could tell that too now because of how much you talk about the Blazers and Dame Lillard and stuff like that. But we'll get to that. To close out, we'll get to Dame in the Dame time because I can't wait to get you.
Hey, I knew it was coming. You know what I mean? I knew it was coming, man.
Oh man! So look, man, let's get back on task. Basketball, you have a good 10th grade basketball year too, and by the standards of what you're saying, man, you're developing in both sports like very well. Like your just development is just. It seems like once you get accustomed to the rhythm and maybe 1 or 2 games under your belt, you seem to be comfortable with playing the sport. So coming into 11th grade, and this is much like the 7th, 8th grade situation. You know what I mean, with the 11th and 12th grade. 11th grade, you kind of want to like really stake your claim because this is when the letters and everything starts coming in recruitment and stuff like that.
Right.
How versed or what was your acumen as far as recruiting? Did you know anything about it? Were you like immersed into being ranked? How did you kind of gauge that mentally? What were your thoughts on that?
Honestly, bro, it was until I started seeing, the letters come through, from D2, D3. Once you see the letter, they just randomly just send them to your house. And then you start to think like, man, it's time for me to lock in for real. You know what I mean? If I want to go to that next level, I'm gonna have to lock in, So coming into football, Coach Tank would always be like, he would always have study all student athlete first.
Yes, for sure.
So focus on your school. The athletic is gonna be there, you know what I mean? So that's when, the recruitment stuff started clicking in. Like, all right, let me lock in the classroom, let me lock in on the field, you know what I mean? Because I didn't really know too much about the recruitment, man. And it's a process, like
yeah, no, for sure.
Process. So he's talking to me like, you got to start getting film ready. So that's when I'm like, okay, I gotta lock in. I gotta turn it up a notch if I want to get, highlights for myself.
Right.
To pass on to different schools for real, Right. So coming in the 11th grade, I was the main back. I was the main running back then. You know what I mean? And I knew I was gonna be toting the load, a good amount for real.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my fullback, the guy named Duke Gibbons. Man, this dude was like 240 at the fullback, bro.
In high school.
And, ooh, bro. So when he get through the man, like I said, man, in public school guys, I get into this argument with these dudes all the time, bro. Like I was like, so let's for instance say the Old Mill. Old Mill, man, their line was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Not taking nothing away from Crumbs, because Crumbs was that.
Right.
But if I'd have went there and played behind that line, bro, I would have had 2,000 yards. Easily. You know what I mean? So I tell the different public school guys, like, I'm taking my summer school squad and I'm taking them up against your squad, bro, because I had, we had hard head dudes, bro. They was light in weight, but there wasn't no quitting them, bro. So my back, man, listen. He was my junior year, bro. I was averaging 8.5 yards a carry. Bro, he get through the line, bro. He hit a linebacker. It was a wrap from there. That's all it was, that 5 yards right there. 8.5 a carry I was averaging junior year, bro.
8.5 yards a carry.
A carry, bro. And he was, all my yards was from him, bro. He would open that line. He would take out that linebacker, and it was a wrap. It was always either me in the corner or me in the safety.
You get into the second level with, it's pretty much over once you get to the second level. So
yeah, man. But to touch back what you said, I just had to lock in for real. You know what I mean? It turned it up a notch. And that year, we did pretty good. I think we split the conference championship that year, which we should have won it, but we ended up losing the I think it was who we lose to. Might have been Curly. Curly was always stacked. And I tell the public school guys, man, you don't know the competition until you get into the private school because it's Baltimore schools that's thorough for real.
Man, listen.
Like you thinking it's a private school, the athletic level is either there or higher for real, bro.
For sure.
And
it's in your time and your era. Absolutely. And that's no disrespect to the pub, to specifically the county, because a lot of our guys in our county were definitely talented, football and basketball wise, but the Catholic League, MIAA, complete separation.
For sure. And I think they see what's on paper, like, oh, you played some school they never heard of, you know what I mean? And you doing this, that, and the third. And I'm like, bro, you better do your research on this school, because this school is legit for real.
Right.
But that's the only thing I regret, bro. If I really wanted to go to private school, I set a few people up, bro. But
I tell you,
back on topic, bro. The 11th year was cool. You know what I mean? We did what we needed to do. I think that year I was maybe third. I think I was second or third rusher in the county. I think that's the year Crumbs went crazy and ran for, I think that was the year he ran for 2,000, if I'm not mistaken. I know one year he led the county by a good amount for real.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, I with that squad I had, bro, I was averaging junior year, I think I was 1,400 rushing yards. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a bad year. That's a great year with that squad that I had for real. Like I said, we varsity, we bringing 25 players at max wherever we go, and we was gonna rock out, bro.
Yeah.
My thing was, we had some players that want to get in shape for lacrosse, playing basketball, so I'm telling them, like, it was to a point where me and Maul actually had them locked in on being like the best football player they can be for real. You know what I mean? I'm like, sit the lacrosse aside. You know what I mean? Some of us is focused on football, so bring your football mentality. You know what I mean? Lead the lacrosse after the season. You know what I mean? And at some point, they was locked in for real. I seen change from freshman year to junior year, being a little timid to being like, all right, we ready to roll for real. You know, and that just comes from me and Maul and Smitty was up there too. That just comes from them looking like, okay, I got somebody that's going to get it in. So that just brings that just hype you up for real, knowing you got somebody that's going to tote that load for you and get you going for real.
No, for sure, man. That's nothing but the truth right there. And kind of categorize that season, and you said it was a good season from a team perspective, but for you to being all county and all state, into that conversation, even with how easy things were going in coming up through 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, how easy it was, did you foresee that you would be having that much of an effect on the football field when you were playing like that specific year?
Bro, to keep it real with you, once I got through freshman year, I already knew what I was in for, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. I knew what I was in for real. Just my mentality, you know what I mean? Off season, we putting in work. Either it was the gym. Like, it was times in the summer when me and Maul would just, Coach Tank, open the gym up. Me, Maul, Smitty, we blink up at the gym, shoot around, you know what I mean? It's just the stuff that you do outside of, you know what I mean, the whole practices and whatnot. You did it in on your own time for real, you know? We go out on the field, we throwing the ball around. That's just what we did for real. So me putting in the work off the field, I knew what time it was going to be, bro. And I knew not toot my horn, because I said I was going to be humble on here. But not toot my horn, bro. I knew I was going to be tough to stop, bro. Like,
right.
Damn. And you got to have that mentality, bro. You got to go into the game thinking that you the best on the field.
Period.
If not, you not going to be. And you going to lose it.
That's a fact.
Game, I said, bro, I'm not letting my team down. My mindset, I'm going to rush for 100 yards every game. I'm going to score. And you just got to have them type of goals set for yourself. That's going to make you go hard for real.
So you had 100. You had your goal set for getting 100 a game or getting one score a game. That was the goal.
One score, I know I'm putting my team in good shape, because Maul gonna throw for 1 or 2 anyway. You know what I mean? So all I need is to get me running, get the rushing going so he can open it up. And then from there, that's what it was for real. You know?
Do you remember your first college letter that you ever got? It wasn't for football, it wasn't for basketball. Before I transitioned to 11th grade basketball, because I was not
remember who it was from, bro, but I know my first one I got was for basketball.
Was for basketball, and was it 10th or 11th grade?
I think this was like the end of 10th grade, like over the summer going, because, you know, they would just send you we got our eyes on you type thing. You know what I
mean? Yeah.
Right. All right. So it was basketball was the first one, believe it or not, bro. And then when I was my junior year, I started to think like, you know, you get that decision like, do I want to pursue basketball or do I want to pursue football? Because junior year, I was averaging 20 plus, like 9 boards and 7. So it was like, Dad,
First team all county that year as well, basketball and football.
Right. So I'm like, do I want to go the basketball route or do I want to go the football route? But if I had to redo it over, I would have did the basketball route for real.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why you think that?
I would have basketball route, bro, because like I said, I didn't really know what I was, you know, on the court until, you know what I mean? I didn't know I was gonna be like that for
Got you. I got you.
Football, I got since I was 7, coming all the way through high school. So, and then basketball just was like, damn, you know what I mean? I could do that right now. I still got a few more years, you know what I mean? Football, I knew what I was getting, you know what I mean? Put it that way. I knew what I was getting out of football, you know. Basketball was just a different spark, you know, the energy on the court with the fans, it was different. The layout lines, the warm-ups, it was different, bro. The music, all that was different, bro.
It's a lot more intimate of a sport. Football is like your super fan sport, but basketball is more of an intimate sport. You, like you said, you kind of feel the crowd and they can reach out and, you know what I mean? It's a little different. That's why I like it a little bit more, not a little bit more. I like basketball exponentially more than football, mainly for that reason.
You do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, if I went back, bro, I probably would have went the basketball route for real. Not even.
All right, so 11th grade basketball year, you said you averaged over 20 a game, about 9 boards. You were also all county that year as well. And now you're ushering into your senior year. You begin to get a couple of letters. What is your mindset going into senior year as you develop or as you approach your last year in high school?
No hiccups, no bumps, none of that, bro. I just got it. It's tunnel vision time now. You know, this your last year. Granted, coming off the basketball season, that's the junior year. We made it to the championship. And we ended up losing to Gilman in the championship. My dream, you know. Yeah, so now it's like, all right, it's tunnel vision time. So it's time to lock in. I gotta have the best season. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. It's no regrets looking back like, damn, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. You know what I mean? So now it's just leave it all out on the field, leave it all out on the court, you know. So it was go time from there, man. Like, I had to lock in for real.
Okay. So to categorize this and put this and kind of make it as compact as possible, your senior year, you were also first team all county, Anne Arundel County. You also were able to get another all-state selection as far as a nominee and to be all-state. Over 5,000 yards, all-purpose as a football player. Like I said, you had over 1,000 points in basketball as well, man. You had one of the most remarkable, high school stories that I know of personally, like the people that I know, man. Talk about that senior year and when you were a senior, and just kind of categorize your senior year, maybe a memorable moment and something that you kind of learned leaving from separate school going to the next level.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna go back. I was blown, right, because I played my first year. Smitty was on varsity my first. We played together that junior year. We ended up playing together. So we playing in Savannah Park scrimmage, and that's when he tore his ACL.
That's his knee up.
Yeah. So I was already blown going into the senior year because I'm like, all right, man, I'm not gonna have my guy with me. You know what I mean? I was rocking with him on the basketball all the way since we got
Right.
there.
Exactly.
You know? So saying it was, and I told myself like the one game I wore his jersey. It was more so for him because I knew how much he wanted to be on the field. I knew how much he wanted, especially on the court.
Mm-hmm.
And it was mentally, I know it was tough for him because you you got that year injury, season injury, bro. It's tough for you to sit and watch, especially when he put in the much work he did and he loved the game. You know what I mean? It was tough to sit and watch. So I told myself, bro, every time I got on there for saying I was gonna ball out for my guy. That's why the one game at home, I wore his jersey number 5, got busy in it. I mean, but I tell people to this day, bro, if we had Smitty that year we lost the champion, bro, we'd have won that championship, bro. Hands down. We'd have beat Gilman and we'd have had, I think Severn School didn't win a championship since like the 80s. So I always tell people, bro, if Smitty was there, he was healthy, bro, we would have breezed and we'd have won that championship. You know what I mean? So I told myself, I'm just now all the stories coming back, bro. So we played. I gotta tell you this one. We played against.
That's fine. I need that.
Played against Cardinal Gibbons. Smitty the free safety. I'm the strong safety. So I'm up a little bit. He's sitting in the back. We playing Cardinal Gibbons. They come down here with this sign, 11-0, this, that, and the third. Playing at Airfield, talking big smack. This was 11th grade, talking big trash, bringing signs down and all that. Their team was okay. That's what they thought. Their team was okay. So receiver, he always yapping. So this is the first time I seen, this is Smitty's first year on varsity because he played JV his sophomore year. So he up on the varsity. It's the first time I seen him lay the wood on somebody, bro. The boy caught a slant across the middle. Smitty smacks him, then looking down, talking trash to him, bro. The ref threw the flag. Oh my God, bro. I was no more. I said, yes, this is what I needed right here. I said, Smitty, forget that flag, bro. They hit. Hey, bro, they was quiet the whole game, smacked on them 30-something-6, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that's what I needed. And that's why I was so blown he missed that senior year, bro, because he had a lot of potential on the football field. I just don't think he knew how much potential he had for real.
Right. Right.
But it was stuff like that. Man, when he did that hit, bro, I was happy the whole week walking to school. I'm like, yeah, Smitty, good hit, boy. Yo, I'm telling you, bro.
I can't even imagine that, yo. I
turned over top of him talking trash.
Yeah, bro. Man. He all cool. This is like me imagining like Nas doing this to somebody or something. Like I can't even imagine you doing that, man. You too smooth for that, man.
No, it was crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's based on the senior year, bro. I had to lock in for real. And for football, we did pretty good, I think this was our senior year, bro. We playing in the game against a school called Beale. They was in Hagerstown, so they came to play us. So Maul, he be getting on me to this day, yo. He didn't touch the field probably about, I think the offense ain't touched the field till probably like end of the maybe like second quarter for real. Cause I think I had two kick returns, one punt return, and I think I had like 2 rushes. So I had 5 TDs that game for real. And he like, damn, bro, you gonna let me touch the ball? Yo, I'm just having all these moments right now, bro. Like it was just, it was crazy, bro. A lot of people didn't see it; they just saw it on the papers. But being there for real, bro, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
Man. Like I say, everybody that you can encounter, possibly that ever was even close to the situation, talks about it in a mythical standpoint, bro. Like some of the stuff that I heard you do, like. Do you remember when everybody talks about the story when you was running up the field, you put it behind your back like you was playing basketball?
Bro. Like, and the thing about it, I used to run carrying the ball like this because I used to feel free with it.
Yeah.
When somebody would come, I would throw it over top of their head. The one time they came, I put it behind it. Yo, I was just in the moment for real, bro.
That's real, man.
Just in the moment, yo. But I answer Reed's question real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Ready? I'm gonna answer your question, bro. So it's AAU. We over there with with Gurley. We over there, right? For whatever reason, him and Tank had their differences. You know what I mean? So we doing AAU. So we practicing over there. We practicing and whatnot, going through the drill. I keep forgetting who was his name. I keep forgetting dude's name who it was, yo. But anyway, it was KP Boy, right? So I catch the ball on the wing, swing through baseline, man, came through, yammed it, right? Everybody going crazy.
Flushed on him.
Listen, sent my man home. That, yo, sent them home, bro. So Gurley wanted me to come to. I forgot Gurley wanted me to come to Spalding, bro. But him and Tank was having these differences. So I would tell people to this day, bro, it was Justin Castleberry, Marquise, Lawrence. If I was on it, bro, that Spalding squad would have been loaded. Loaded, bro.
For those that don't know Marquise, what he said, Marquise is Marquise Sullivan, and that guy was one of the best players.
Boy, that boy was smooth, boy.
He was very cold, very cold.
He was smooth, bro. And we played against him. Who we played with when was he with short? Was he with short shots? I think he might have came up playing with short shots. I'm not 100%, but I know I played against him with Herndale a couple times.
You talking about Marquise?
Marquise Sullivan, who he played with growing up in the youth.
You would definitely have to. You would have to ask K and
Yeah,
he that age.
With short shots for real.
I think so. He might be because I just did an interview with Alex Franz, and he brought him up just 2 days ago. So
I think he was with the short side. But bro, that squad right there, that Spalding, that squad was vicious, bro.
Nasty.
That squad was vicious, and I wouldn't even mind coming off the bench 6-man with that squad. For real.
Right.
I mean,
right.
That squad was loaded, you know. But let me get back in. I'm going back. Let me get back.
You good, brother? You good? It's your world, bro.
So we playing McDonough. They got the top wide receiver. Why am I going blank now that I'm on the spot, bro?
What year is this?
Went to Maryland. This was 05, my senior year. Mm-hmm. Dang, yo, I can't even remember his name, bro. He went to Maryland. He ended up going to play for the Raiders. God, yo, I want to look him up.
Hayward Bay?
Yep. There you go. There is Hayward Bay. So he was number 3 in the state, maybe at that time.
Mm.
So Coach Cook was my coach for defense. He like, Deon, yo, you know what your deal gonna be this game. You're gonna have to lock in on Darius Hayward Bay. He said, do your research. So at home, I'm looking him up and shit. I'm like, hey, he top 3 in the state, getting big looks. Going to Maryland. I think he might, by that point, already committed to Maryland for real, because he was older than me. So I got to lock up on him, man to man, whole game, bro, whole game. So I said, all right, man, listen, I'm gonna have to get physical with this guy, yo, because if I give him that 5-yard cushion, yo, he gonna toast me because he was fast for real.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I get into the game, bro, lock this guy down. I think he might have had 4 or 5 catches under 100 yards. You know what I mean? So like that's the type of stuff I look back on. Like, bro, that was he was in the league for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know?
he was in the league. I mean, even if not, like he was one of the best athletes in the country.
Bro, I had to shut him down, bro. He scored down when I got a calf cramp, and he went over the top on as a score. If I didn't get a calf cramp, he wouldn't have scored, bro. And we lost that game by. We went down, tried to tie it up or win on the last drive, and they stopped us. So we lost. I think we lost like 6 points for real. You know, but that was the senior year to set the tone for real, bro. And from there on, that squad I had, bro, that senior year we was rocking for real, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
man, there is Hayward Bay. Who else in your senior year would you kind of categorize? I know we talked about it before, but who were some of the other players that you had kind of came across by that time in your senior year that was kind of dominant on the field before we switched to basketball for the close?
Man, I think he might. The dude from Loyola, the quarterback, Brady Smith, or Brady. I think his name was Brady Smith. He ended up going to Boston College, but he ended up DN at Boston College. He was a big boy for real, yo. But he was a quarterback at Loyola. big boy.
Quarterback to Deon. What?
Yeah, so he was a big boy for real.
Yeah, gotta be.
Every bit about 240.
That's crazy.
He could throw the joint though,
Right.
But I think those two might have been the top ones that actually no, the dude from Curly, Glenn Williams, he ended up going to Duke. He played at Curly. He ended up going to Duke for real. But yeah, those might have been the top three that I had a chance of playing against for real.
Was that 5 touchdown game your best statistical game? Do you think in high school?
Touchdown wise, yes. I think one game I rushed for over 300 yards in one game. And I think the junior year, I'm gonna go back St. Paul's. That's when I broke for another 99-yard run. That was against St. Paul's.
99 yards.
Yeah, bro.
Gone.
Boy thought he had me on the angle, bro.
Smoked it.
Hey, what my man do? Yeah, it was a wrap, bro.
See ya. Man, that's extraordinary right there, bro. So
fun, man. I'm telling you, my sports years was fun, dog.
Bro, you got so many stories, man. Like from beyond yourself and then everybody else that tells the stories, man. We would be here all day talking about that. So basketball, you did you feel? Oh, I'm not even gonna say basketball yet. Football, you closed it out. Did you feel in your brain that you did everything possible to be successful on the field, and were you happy with your football career after it was all said and done?
Yeah. At the end of the day, I knew that I left everything I had on the field for real, bro. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I knew I left everything on the field. When you go out knowing you left everything out on the field, that's an accomplishment right there. You know what I mean?
Sure. Mm-hmm. Now, you move into basketball season. The back half of your high school career in sports is coming to an end, man. And how would you categorize your basketball season your senior year? Because you were also all county that year as well.
Mm-hmm. Basketball senior year, it was different. Like I said, we had junior year. We had Davon Morris. He was a shooter, so we lose him. You know, Smitty was out.
Oh yeah.
So we playing the whole senior year. You know what I mean? It's me, Maul, few other guys. They had to step up for real. At the end of the day, that's just what it was. They had to step up. You know. Yeah. So I think my senior year, we did well. I think we ended up winning 15 or 16 games.
Mm-hmm.
Better than what I thought. Not having Smitty for real. So that one hurt for real. So we just had to turn it up, man. And it would be times when Jamal would have like 10 assists, 11 assists. You know what I mean? That's just what he had to do, control the floor, you know?
Still being a general as he is always.
Exactly, bro. One thing I'll be mad about, bro, I didn't have no jumper back in high school, bro. Listen, bro, when I tell you no jumpers, I would randomly come off the screen maybe and hit a little floater or something like that. All my buckets was slashing to the cup or off steals.
Mm.
It wasn't all right, Peter's gonna set up for this. Every now and then I might shoot a 3, but that wasn't my thing. You know what I mean? 3 wasn't for me, bro. I was terrible with the 3. Straight slasher, bro. And if I always told myself, bro, I thought of myself as a D Wade because the slasher, even though he could shoot, but he was more so of a slasher, get to the cup, finish type. You know what I mean? And that's what I told myself, bro. If I had a jumper in high school, bro,
things might have been different, baby.
Crazy. Bro.
It would have been different.
It would have been crazy, bro.
I feel you. I mean, the makeup of how you were as an athlete, that transition in both sports, man, it's kind of easy once you get that athletic and you have that much of a drive to want to play it that you had, man. Right. Sky's been a limit in either thing. So
for sure.
Now you closed out your sports career at Severn. You've gotten some letters in the process of playing both of these sports, and now it's time to kind of take the next step and go into school. Mm-hmm. What were your choices to go to school, and how were you academically? Like, what shape were you in academically to get recruited? Was it that kind of a hold, or was it?
Yeah, like I said, man, I ain't afraid to say like summer school was tough for me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I was probably at summer school, a C average probably in public school probably would have been a high B or middle.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean? So schools, that's the first thing they're looking at is, all right, let me see what the GPA is. So mine was probably like low twos for real.
Mhm.
So when I sat down, I was talking to Tank. He was like, it wouldn't hurt to go the JUCO route, because a lot of, when I looked at it, a lot of players do the JUCO thing.
Yes.
That's normal. You know what I mean? So I was looking at the JUCOs, ended up sending my tape to Lackawanna College in Scranton, Pennsylvania. So I ended up going there for college out of Severn School. Ended up going there. And up there you had players from New York, New Jersey, PA, all over, bro. You had
Lackawanna is one of the best junior college football programs in the country. I don't know if it is now, but at the time specifically, it was.
Right now, bro. They still rocking right now.
Yeah.
So there, I get up there. College is different. And no matter what level it is college. And JUCO, you're going to get your best talent. You know what I mean? Everybody do it in the classroom all the way, but was that on the field or the court was there. So it was no days off, bro. You had to compete if you wanted your spot. And then you getting into depth charts and all of that. So you got to ball out every chance you get, you got to ball out. If not, your name is going to keep dropping. And next thing you know, you're going to be just going to school for real.
Right. Nobody just going to school out there for that.
Exactly. So I get in there. It's we got a couple backs. I was more the bigger back coming in there for real. We had a couple small backs that was nice, but I stayed in between the 1 and 2. Me and my boy was the 1-2 punch. He was the smaller back. I was the big back, Had a good year my first year. I think I had like 6 or 7 TDs, maybe rushed over 600 yards. So coming into my next year, I was preseason All-American there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but yes, preseason All-American.
And I had looks I had Michigan State, I had it was a couple like D1, had Delaware. It's a lot of D1 AA schools, But that's when I broke the ankle, man. I'm telling you, the injury set me back. Set me back for real. That injury wasn't no joke. So coming into preseason All-American, you like, all right, the standards is high already. You know what I mean? So I got to match it for it. You know what I mean? So we playing up in Nassau, New York. They top JUCO team in the country for real. They was like number 3. We was at like number 7 or 8 for real. We ended up winning the game, by the way, but first or second quarter, man, dude tackled me. It was muddy. They feel it was garbage. A lot of patches. Foot gets stuck in the mud. Big boy land on me. All my weight and his weight on that ankle. Man, I heard that thing crack. I was like, no. So I hopped up. Adrenaline still flowing. So I hopped up. That joint gave out on me. I'm like, oh my God. So I dropped down. Joint just dangling. I'm like, I already knew what it was. You know what I mean? So yeah, broke my ankle. That was the first serious injury ever. That one hurt.
Yeah, for sure.
Wrong time for real. You know what I mean? So that set me back mentally for real. Not being hurt. That was the first serious injury. It set me back mentally for real. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, ended up going through doing the therapy thing and whatnot. Got back right. My team ended up going to Glendale, Arizona. They won the championship out there. So that's why I always tell the athletes, bro, you gotta have a plan B, because you don't never know when that injury gonna come. You know what I mean? You can't just fall back on sports all the time, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure. And I'm glad you spoke on that so well, because a lot of these kids, I mean, and even in the sense of like adulthood, like that lesson right there in itself for somebody that was at the top of the chain, somebody that put a whole bunch of work in. you get to a situation where that could be taken from you, and you have to have a foundation of something that you're going to do after.
You
So
got
I definitely appreciate that you get that note for sure.
Yeah, bro, because I think a lot of them just think like, you young, so you like, all right, I'm gonna go to the NFL.
Yes.
But when you do your research, bro, the percentage of you going to the NFL in the state of Maryland is not high.
Facts.
You gotta have that plan B because you're not. It's a good percentage that you're not gonna make it to the NFL. You know what I mean? You gotta have that fallback plan, whether it's due to injury or whatever the case may be. You gotta have that plan B for real, And it took me to realize that after that injury, you know what I mean? It took me to realize that, because I was that one, like, okay, I'm gonna try and make it to. I'm definitely trying to go to NFL for real. After the year I had previously from high school down, they like, all right, yeah, you can do it. But boom, that happened. Threw a whole wrench in the game, bro. And it was to the point where when I got back on the field, it didn't feel right. I told myself, I said, look, man, if I'm not mentally locked in on it, I'm not gonna do it because at the end of the day, if I keep thinking about the injury, I'm gonna end up getting hurt.
You're gonna hurt. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I totally get that, man. And then when it gets to something that you love like that, man, gets stripped from you, your mind goes in a totally different format. You get to come to some of the lowest points that you can get to, but
it was tough for real, man.
Yeah, you have to have a maybe a little bit of a foundation around you, and you got to pull yourself up and be able to conquer things, and that's what you're able to learn from that. Like once that happened to me with school and getting kicked out of school, I had a down period. But once you get through that time, you really realize you can be resilient and do a lot more things because I made up put myself in a box thinking I could only play basketball. But lo and behold, I can do so many other things. You know what I mean? Once you really just grasp the concept of that idea, you can make a good positive impact going forward. So I'm glad that you did as well.
Right.
And now you have the opportunity to get back in the game with your son.
Yeah.
With your coaching.
That's what I love the most now, man. You know what I mean? Like I coached a couple times over at Seminole, but it's just now it's just giving back for real, man.
Yep.
How my journey was, and you know what I mean, just staring in ways not to go for real,
Mm-hmm.
At the age I'm at right now, that's what I'm good for right now is knowledge for real, bro.
Yep.
So if I can drop knowledge on them to help them do better, you know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna do,
And you definitely want to do it because you've been through it and you've been to the top of the game. So I think any youngin will be wise to listen to what you have to say. Hall of Fame recipient at your high school, man. Talk about that. Were you super excited about that?
Yeah, man. It was. I kind of knew it was coming, but didn't know when it was coming for real. You know, Maul hit me, was like, "Yo, don't say nothing." But I got the letter, bro. Me, you, and Brian Phipps. He was.
Yeah.
He's like, "Man, we getting inducted." I was like, yeah. He's like, don't say nothing yet. I'm telling you, I ain't even supposed to be telling you for real. I'm like, that's my guy right there.
Yeah.
So, bro,
it was good for y'all to go in together, though, man.
Yeah, man. And like Brian, he helped me out a lot through like school and whatnot, bro. So I was glad to he took me to a couple ACC tournament games with his dad, and they was big time in Maryland with lacrosse.
Yeah.
So I was happy to go on with them three. Because Maul being my right hand man since we was young, so it was a beautiful thing, dog, because they normally don't have three going in at one time for real. It's normally one here or maybe two, but those three, it was dope for real, y'all.
That was pretty cool. I remember when you guys first had put it up on Facebook, and I seen Maul talk about it, and I was happy for you guys, man, because I think Neil had just got into the Annapolis Hall of Fame, and I think y'all was right after that. I was like, man, that's remarkable, man. That's remarkable feats. So yeah, man, that's your high school career was amazing, man. The story is just amazing, and I think people can learn a lot from that story and be entertained by some of the stuff that was going on, man. But I'm gonna move on to some current questions before we close it out. Watching the game, I know I took you over time. My bad. So currently, the landscape of sports, man, who are your favorite athletes, whether it's NFL or the NBA or if it's in another sport, who is your favorite athletes out right now? Who you think is some of the best?
In the NFL, you know, I'm gonna stick to the running backs. You know, in this generation, bro, I love Alvin Kamara. I love Henry.
Yeah.
Hard, and he
Yeah.
got, you know what I mean, and he got speed. And you know, I was a big back, so I love a bruising type back, bro, that can lay the hammer on you and can still beat you with the speed.
Right.
But Kamara is just different, bro. He's different. He's smooth. You know, he got it. He got his contract. Came in with the ice grill. I'm like, yo, he different, bro. He's different. Yo, he's different, man.
How you feel about Tom Brady, man? You think Tom Brady's the GOAT?
Oh, hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down, man. Hands down. If I was to bet on that Super Bowl game, I was going. You gotta go with Brady, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
To see him get 7 rings, bro. You had to do that, because it's not. We won't ever see nobody like Tom Brady again, yo. We will never see nobody like Tom Brady for real. Yeah, people may like him with this, that, and the third, but on the field, to switch teams in 1 year and take your team and win a Super Bowl, that's tough.
With a team that ain't been doing too much of anything,
that's tough.
Yeah, basketball and the spread in football championships is a little different than basketball. Like, you might get some teams in basketball that might win twice in the same decade. You don't really look back on NFL and see guys 1 championship here, 2 championship here, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, but on the NBA side, man, you know who I gotta go with, man.
Brother!
I already know, man. They be disrespecting my guy. Look. If you look on Facebook, bro, I've been quiet. I might jump out there, you know, once every couple weeks just to post a flick and whatnot. But I've been quiet. You know what I mean? You know, I just bet on to win the MVP for real. You know what I mean? Yes.
Dame is one of the most. I don't understand. Like, you know how people kind of love the B Roy.
Mm-hmm.
B Roy wasn't even like this. Like,
no, B Roy was raw, but he not like this.
Raw, but he wasn't like this, and he doesn't get, like, I mean, I know he gets love and fanfare, but people really don't understand how good Dame is out there on the floor, man. He pushes. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful or say this in any way, but he might be Kyrie Irving that really pushes Steph Curry to the fullest extent every time they play. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know he comes out on a losing end a lot because of other things, but he pushes that man to the limit. Every time I see it, I think about you and my brother. So,
facts, bro. And I just framework questioned your brother. Like last week, he was talking, "Oh, I'm a Portland fan too." I'm like,
yeah,
man, with you, bro. Every time you put on that TV, bro, they ain't gonna give you a show, bro.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's a beast, man. He's a beast. Who you got winning this year?
Out of the East, the Nets look tough, man.
Very
full strength, they gonna be tough.
They look crazy, man.
They gonna be tough full strength. So I think they coming out of the East, and yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. The West is up in the air.
I told somebody that the other day, yo. Like, you look at literally, like, even if you take out the play-in games, right?
Right.
And you look at the top 5 teams after Utah, is 1 game separation, 1 game separation, 1.5 game separation.
Game you lose can knock you back 3 spots.
Every last one of them teams is nice. Like, the 5th through 8th spot in the West would be 1st through 5th in the East. Like, it's tough. So it's definitely up in there. I just was talking about that too, man, for sure. But I got the Lakers only because of the circumstance. 4 games, beating Bron and AD, I don't got it happening. I just don't. I'm sorry.
It's going to be tough, bro. It's going to be tough. And them picking up Schroeder was a big move.
Big move.
And with me with Portland, man, I feel like Nurk gotta go, man. I would have put a package. Man, bro, he's been injured too many times, man. Like, if I was them, I was packaging up something to get Andre Drummond for real. That's what I would have. Yeah. We need a center for real. But not taking nothing from him. I'm gonna see what he do when he come back, you know. But I like my chances with Portland, bro. I like my chances, man. You know, they turn up second half of the season, man.
Hey, I don't got no problem with that. I love Dame, so I ain't got no issue with that. One thing I would say though is I wish they kind of would have went a little bit more aggressively at Blake Griffin when he got his buyout, but I can see
That,
why. Because
yeah,
like you said, they need a true center. They don't really need a tweener, and Blake's not as athletic as he once was, so it'd be a little different. But I like y'all. I like y'all a lot, man, for sure.
you know. But yeah, man, Dame all the way, bro. Dame all the way. I ain't gonna after the All-Star break, I might turn up on him on Facebook. I've been chilling because we've been injured, but he been holding his own. We 7 games over 500.
And y'all fifth in the West in a turmoil West. It's crazy. So y'all been getting it done, man. I've been watching for sure because they definitely been rising up like lately. So it's definitely something to watch, man. But I appreciate that the answers to those. And in conclusion, before I let you go, man, I always like to ask people these questions in conclusion. First and me some time this afternoon to do this interview and let me see your story, man. I always like to ask the person I'm interviewing what it is that they do to separate themselves, or what it is that they do to separate themselves back when they were in the pinnacle of their sport. So, if you could kind of explain what you do to separate yourself on a day-to-day basis from those who might be in competition or those with you at work, or what is something that you could possibly tell us about?
Man, yo, that's a good question, bro, because like coming up, bro, it wasn't really no type of separation for real, man, because we was always just like I said, we was going to games. You know, even when it's time for you to chill, you was either out and about outside playing football, playing basketball. I feel like the generation now, you know, they more so electronic. You know what I mean? They not just, all right, I'm gonna run around outside until the street lights come on. You know what I mean? They rather sit in the house and play the games and whatnot. You know what I mean? So with me growing up, bro, it wasn't really no getting away from it for real. I
Yeah,
was always in tune to sports, locked in to sports, always was around it. You know what I mean? But if I had to say, bro, I don't even know, bro. I can't even tell you, bro. Because I was just,
that's a good. To be honest with you, the first time we've had that answer, but that's an honest answer because I tell people all the time. Sometimes it's just who you are.
yeah,
You can't give nobody some people don't need to be coached.
right.
Some people don't need to have a sense of direction as to how they got to this point. So for you, it's just kind of, man, it was just kind of instilled with you. And like you said before, you worked hard and you wanted to be better than the next person, better than yourself in some senses. So
Yeah, bro. You just around it, it's just
yeah,
become part of your daily life. You know what I mean? Like it was points where we would come from a football game and we going straight to basketball tryouts. Like it's just situations like that. You don't have no downtime for real. Because all right, we going football, we going straight to play basketball for tryouts and try and make a team for real. You know what I mean? It
yep,
was no like I was just always in tune with the sports for real. You know what I mean?
facts. Facts, man. But hey, that's a good answer, man, for everybody. Sometimes, man, it's just in you as a person.
You
That's
already,
who you are. That's who you make. That's what your makeup is, man. So without any further ado, man, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this thing down.
Mhm.
Peters, man, like I said 1,000 times, 1,000 thank yous for doing this interview, man. I know we were supposed to do it way earlier, but now we good. We got lights and backdrops and shit down, so we are, you know what I'm saying? And,
Peter was one of the last ones, bro. No,
hey,
shout out to everybody that you did though, because I didn't know that much about Will Maynard for real, but yeah, I knew him as a person, but I didn't know his whole scheme of things and how raw he was on the court for real until I
facts.
interview for real, you know. So it's good to have people that you don't know about on your show for real, you know what I mean? So I appreciate
Yeah,
what you do. A lot of people
yeah.
can learn from it.
Yeah, think that's my goal, man. Especially for us in the county, man. A lot of these kids don't know a lot of the predecessors that came before them that was really good in their sports. So it's always good to hear the stories and the ups and the downs and how they get through and navigate through these situations, man. So again, I really appreciate you. Much love to you and the family. Much love to your young boy out there on the football field winning championships. And I know I'm gonna see you soon, man. But is there anything else you want to say before you get out of here?
Nah, man, stay safe, man. Hopefully this COVID thing over soon, bro. But everybody just stay safe, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, bro. I'll catch up with you soon, man.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Be safe. That's my guy, Peters. Man, we had a wonderful show today, man. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know about Peters, man. And it's just a remarkable conversation to hear some of the stories and some of the accolades that he was able to get. And trust me, we did not go through a quarter of the stories that we could have went through. One of these days, I'm hoping to get him, Kerwin, Jamal, and the guys together to do one as a group. And I know you guys will super enjoy that because they'll be able to dive into stories they remember from back in the day and even coming forward to now. But again, much love and respect and thanks to Deon Peters, man, 7 graduate, Hall of Fame class, phenomenal athlete, man, dual sport athlete, man, and once again, I just gotta say thank you a million times for him for coming on the show and giving me some time to have this podcast get done. As always, you guys gotta remember the gift is free. It's all about what you're gonna do to separate yourself. I'm your host, Deon Queen, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.